And now some really bad news. DramaFever is shutting down. And the reason why it's bad news is because I know, Tristan, you're not really a big fan of Japanese drama shows. You don't hate them, you just never really check them out. And I've seen some now and again. But the reason why this is frustrating is because it's being shut down. But by the way, so it's not only being shut down, but it was shut down like that. Snap of the fingers, Thanos style, out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Like, Warner Brothers didn't give warning to people, so I'm pretty sure people upped their subscription from what they said in the comment section. Which, by the way, the article will be listed in the description box down below. So they updated their subscription. Now, I'm sure they can get that money back if they really, shake Warner Brothers down for it, because they are Warner Brothers. But it was frustrating because people were like, yeah, we were not told of this. We didn't have any warning, so that people who were sitting there going, oh, that's in my backlog. Oh, I get to watch that next week. Oh, I have to do. It just shut down.
And also, closure of the service will result in 20% of the company's 110 employees being laid off.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. However, there is some interesting talk that Warner Brothers is potentially starting their own streaming service. Now, it's not even just the DC streaming service might be part of a larger channel, like Verve.
Right.
Do you know what Verve is?
Yeah.
Yeah, and if any of you guys don't know, Verve is it's literally because it's a bit different than calling it like a streaming service, in the sense that a streaming service you think of like a Crunchyroll, right? But with Verve, they would have not only Crunchyroll, but here's Crunchyroll, here's Funimation, here's, this other network, and they would get other streaming services combined under one umbrella. So people thought, if Warner Brothers is going to be bringing up their streaming service in the near future, they would have DC under the umbrella, and they would also have DramaFever.
Mm.
But now people are saying, they might be trying to assimilate some of the drama shows into Warner Brothers network without actually having it be separate, perhaps, which sounds odd, but there could be a chance that DramaFever, that's like the somewhat good news, that these jobs might not actually be lost in the grand scheme of things, and that DramaFever might not be lost forever. It might only be lost in name, but these contracts in some way or another may continue under the Warner Brothers umbrella, but not being called DramaFever. It's just so odd because they have this name. I don't know why this served. I don't know what was going on here, because people said they were enjoying the service. Some people, though, in the comments were saying that they enjoy Viki more. I'm pretty sure Viki is the way to pronounce it, Viki, because with Viki, they put the shows on there. By the way, Viki is also like I can't think of. It was like that one anime streaming service that actually worked with the Japanese companies super closely. They were derived from the companies.
Oh, okay.
I think it was called Anime Souls.
Yeah.
Where they crowdfunded certain streaming service. It was we're gonna put the first episode for free, and if you crowdfund it, then we'll put it on DVD. And it was a very interesting hybrid type service.
Right.
But anyway, so Viki actually works with some of these Japanese companies that release these live action shows, these dramas, and what they do, Tristan, is they put it on their network, their streaming service, with no subtitles. So you're thinking, but Matt, I don't understand Japanese. But here's the thing: fans can come in and add their own subtitles.
Mm.
So if there are fan subs of something and they put something up raw, so Japanese audio, no translations whatsoever, someone could upload their translation, and now that show is fully translated.
Right.
So it's this very interesting model that people have somewhat been enjoying, potentially more than DramaFever, I would imagine, because I guess DramaFever wasn't profitable to Warner Brothers. It's just so strange, and it's frustrating too, because it does bring up the question of if was it not profitable for Warner Brothers and DramaFever, or was it profitable for DramaFever and not Warner Brothers? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they also mentioned in the article about licensing costs for certain dramas were rising to almost $1 million USD for a season, and they were competing with Netflix and Amazon too. So they're kind of I guess maybe trying to cut their losses, but
it's odd though, because it's Warner Brothers.
Yeah, right.
So are you again? I can understand if they're saying that the costs oh, we're clearly not getting enough revenue back from this. If that's the case, then yeah, of course you're not going to spend $1 million USD like per episode or per series, especially if you're competing with Netflix and Amazon. I get it. But it's just odd because in our heads, Warner Brothers is huge. Yeah. Now, I will admit, though, that yes, that is, in a weird way, a silver lining. Where if DramaFever was competing with those services on their own, DramaFever would have been dead a long time ago.
Right.
So in a weird way, that Warner Brothers integration is not as bad. The initial integration is not as bad as one would think, because sometimes you have to ask yourself the question, like I just asked before, is something profitable for one company, but the second it gets acquired by another company, it's like, oh, you're not as profitable as we would like you to be. So even though you've gained more revenue, it's not where we were projecting you to be, so we're going to can you.
Right.
That does happen. That has happened before. That's happened with different gaming companies and other media companies. And it's really frustrating because, again, a profit for us, right? Like if you and I, through YouTube and through our Patreon and T-shirts and things like that, if we made, $1,000 tomorrow from 0 to 1,000, we're like, oh, that's nice, right? And then if we keep on making that, not per month, but like per week, for us, we're like, ooh, 4K. That's actually really nice. All right. But to a major corporation, if we're making $4,000 a month, we're failures. We'd be canned.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So for one company or for one group or whatever you want to refer to it as, one company's profits are another multi-billion corporation's drop in the bucket that needs to be, the faucet needs to be turned off. So it is frustrating, but it's just also so odd that it's just, I don't know, like you would think, no, because you would think that Warner Brothers
so odd.
would keep it. Yes, because you would think that Warner Brothers would keep this around unless they're truly getting out of the drama business, unless they're like, nope, we're not bringing any Japanese dramas at all. We're not bringing over any, because it wasn't just Japanese dramas, I should mention. There were also, there were Asian dramas in general, and there were also Latin American telenovelas. So I could have shown this to my grandmother, damn it, and she would have enjoyed it. She wouldn't have known how to work any of it, but my abuelita would have enjoyed it. But you see where I'm coming from, right, dude? Like, it's just, yes, the $1 million price mark does make certain shows pricey, but then you limit the amount of shows that you would get per season, you would think. Also, I don't know much about, because I don't watch those Japanese dramas, and again, I know you don't either, Tristan, but have you heard from friends of ours this huge buzz about Netflix getting all those hip, cool, new Japanese, dramas, those J-dramas? Like, I'm not saying that the article is lying and that they weren't competing, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I've never heard the phrase, yo, Netflix has the best new J-drama, better than any of the other companies. And maybe they have, and I just really haven't been hearing about it. But you see what I'm saying, though, right, Tristan? It seems like such a niche. It's interesting that they were fighting that hard over J-dramas.
Yeah.
Like, anime I get, but it's interesting that J-dramas were apparently a source of a huge disagreement,
right?
Of a huge price hike. Now, yes, any license could potentially get price hiked in some way or another, but you see what I'm saying, though, right? Like, it's weird.
Yeah.
That Netflix and Amazon were like, we're gonna get these J-dramas at any cost,
right?
And then Warner Brothers was like, I guess we can't pay so much money for these. Like, I'm not trying to shit on J-dramas, guys. I just didn't realize that the community and the amount of fans have gotten that big in the U.S.
Yeah.
Like, I thought they were still niche, even smaller than anime fandom. I guess I was wrong, But yeah, so, and also I would like to mention, so I was talking about the fact that there's going to be a Warner Brothers a streaming service. And again, this article by Variety will also be linked down below, because Warner Media is going to, by the way, I think it might be actually named Warner Media, and the streaming service will be coming in late 2019.
Right.
So yeah, you would think that they would keep it around till then. It's just all so strange.
Yeah.
Like, that's just my take on it. Like, it's just also if the name of it is Warner Media, which I don't think it will be, It's just a weird name.
Yeah, and it kind of, I mean, I hope it works out because that also ties into another story we had talked about previously about, AT&T acquiring Time Warner and then also acquiring Otter Media, the parent company
Yes.
holding Crunchyroll.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck
Yeah,
this
yeah,
up,
yeah.
AT&T.
Well, yeah. I mean, here's the thing. You wonder. Well, oh, I see what you're trying to say. Will they fold Crunchyroll into
They're
themselves?
like folding all these things
Um,
together under like Time, under Warner Media. It looks
yeah. I
like
mean, yeah, but the difference is that I would argue, even with the anime licenses getting that expensive, there has to be some type of return.
yeah, yeah.
Because it would be odd if they shut down Crunchyroll and left that money on the table.
Right, yeah, because I at least, I don't know about DramaFever. I
Yeah, and
haven't
I
been
don't mean
watching
to
it,
be.
haven't
Yeah,
used the service, but like as far as I know, Crunchyroll's doing okay right now. So,
that's the thing. Yeah, like there is. I'm not going to say there's no
oh
competition,
yeah,
but I do think that the competition does like to work together in the anime streaming, industry or the anime licensing industry. And I say they work together in the sense that they have verve. There was no verve for J dramas.
yeah,
It
or
was
K,
Drama Fever, or K dramas, of course. It was Drama Fever, it was Viki, it was Netflix, it was Amazon. They were
all
all
over the
coming
place.
together.
Yeah,
It was all over the place, which is where anime streaming was for a bit. But now it does seem like in some way or another, people are working together, which is nice for anime. But yeah, it's I mean it's a sad thing though, because even though, like I've said over and over, I don't know about J dramas popularity, stuff like that. The point is though, is there are still a bunch of people who are frustrated
oh
and
yeah,
upset by this
yeah.
because
I mean,
they love their
this service is like it started in like 2009. So
I remember this service. Like I
yeah,
could swear this service, and maybe I'm wrong, but I could swear this service was like Crunchyroll. It started off illegitimate,
mm,
and then they turned around.
okay.
I might be wrong there, but I thought that they did. Either way, though, yeah, it's really sad because again, even though we're not part of this community, we don't want you guys who want to support this legally
Mm,
have to feel like now you need to find these shows through illegal methods,
yeah,
through pirating and things like that, because it's like, no, you guys came here wanting to support a product,
right.
right? Went to Drama Fever to support that, and it's not like every single, I've heard many are, but not every single show on Drama Fever is somewhere else.
Right. Yeah.
So there were a few exclusive shows to Drama Fever that are now gone. So that is also frustrating as well.
Mm.
Yeah, and again, if people, if Warner Brothers took your money, that's also very frustrating because you kind of want